Hi. I seem to be on a roll. I just have something on my mind that I want to just talk about, and it's kind of rolling off the video I did yesterday that was about protection. And the thing is with that, as I was saying about the protective practices that I have, they work because I believe in them. And our belief systems are the very foundation of what creates our reality. The problem is that it seems to be that along the way our belief systems, the foundation of our reality, were hijacked, and we have come to have these beliefs that probably don't serve us. And it's interesting because there's a lot of commotion in the world at the moment, and people do feel like it's a end of world scenario in a way, because we're seeing such darkness, and we're seeing, oh my goodness, like if I'm thinking from what I thought life was before I snapped out of the illusion, the delusion, it's just so different. Sometimes it just blows my little mind to think of how I did see things, even though I would say even from a young age, like really young, I remember having thoughts standing in the playground at kindy, kind of looking around and watching everyone and just feeling like, I don't know, there was something else to life. So I kept following that thread through my whole life, but not really knowing what it was I was searching for, but I was looking. And as I've mentioned before, what you seek is seeking you, because this then goes back to your belief systems and what it is you're creating in your mind's eye. So I don't really know what it is I'm saying. Again, just kind of allowing. I may go off, but then I've realized whenever I go off on a tangent, it's actually part of it. So I'm just going to allow whatever comes out of my mouth to flow. Let's just see what happens. So at the moment, our world seems to be very chaotic, and the way I interpret this and see this is we are raising up in consciousness, and there is more light coming in, and we are holding more light, which is allowing a lot of people to see more on the spectrum, because we only actually see, I think it's it's under 0.1% of what is actually apparently there. So, you know, have a think about that. It's not even 1%, it's not 10%, it's below. Look up the exact amount if you need to, but I know it's definitely under 0.1% of the spectrum. So there's been a lot of unseen stuff. So now, as these light codes are coming in, as I'm understanding, and people are raising up and choosing, like this is coming down to choice in life. So we are able to see more, and we're seeing things that we don't necessarily like. There's a lot of darkness that, and if you think actually, if you have a torchlight or a spotlight, the brighter the light, the denser the shadows are. Think about that in relation to the world at the moment. So we are seeing things that previously we couldn't because we were in a lower vibration, lower frequency, therefore we weren't seeing the larger spectrum. But now as we're raising up into the light, we are seeing the shadows because they're much denser and more real. They were kind of murky and shadowy and a little unseen before. And I know that's really scary. I think it is, you know, there's some horrible stuff in our world, which that too blows my mind because I can't understand how anybody could do such horrible things to anyone. But I've looked at it. I've looked at it, I've cried through it, but then from what I've learned and the guidance, I've learned that at this point now, it's my choice point. I must choose. Do I want this in my experience? Do I want to have this? And as soon as I say, hell no, because that's what I would say, I have to pivot from that to what it is that I do want. So I can use what I don't like and go, well, if that's what I don't want, what would the world look like without that? And turn my attention away and then think about it. Like, imagine it. Imagine the world without that. It's a choice point. Let's say we have fear over here, fear, control, power, and we have love, community, unity over here. I get to choose. Like, you get to choose what it is you want to secure in your belief systems and then create. But that is the problem. Nobody, well, a lot of people don't know, not nobody, because there's a lot of people choosing now. There's a lot of really good people choosing and also teaching people and bringing it to the awareness of others, because I learned about this through books, through people talking, through podcasts, through nature, through, you know, my little guidance from above, which we all, like, nobody doesn't have access to that guidance, and everybody has the ability to be a truth seeker. So let me try and get back on track. Once you choose, you must turn, because otherwise what you're doing is fueling that scenario. You're securing it even more so in your belief systems, going, oh my God, I live in a world that has this. It's horrible, it's there, I'm giving it, and even while I'm looking at it, it's growing bigger and bigger. Oh, what a world. Excuse me. So don't do that, please don't do that. Let's now try and share the awareness that you can choose. And also, reality is a funny old thing. As I've said before, and as a lot of people are saying, and, you know, as scientists are actually giving evidence through their studies and research, this isn't as real, this reality, as we were led to believe. So let's now start learning. You know, we should actually even just stop the world right now, stop everything and go, right, things, we've had more information come in, and now we realize the most important thing for everyone is to make sure we all at least know and have the advantage of knowing that there's more to life, that this reality is not exactly what we thought. And we should be having lessons on this. And a lot of people are giving them now over YouTube and lots of other channels and books sharing that. But the important thing is the action. And I know I've been told by some people, you have to look at the news. If you're not watching the news and seeing what's going on, then you're just being ignorant. You know what? I get where you're coming from if that's what you're saying and thinking. And I do agree, like, you need to know what's going on. But again, I'm going back to, then you have to shift to the solution. Like, you cannot fix a problem from being in the problem. You must go to the point of the solution, and that's where we're not getting right. We've got way too many people just focused on the issue, the problem, the horrors, and they're just growing it. So what we need, I would just like to say, if we all made a pact together to turn off the news for 1 week, probably even 1 day, but let's say 1 week, okay? Nobody's going to be watching about the wars, the poverty, the suffering, the problems with money, the fuel crisis. Nobody is fueling it. I bet we would see instant results worldwide. But also, and you know, you could stop looking at it and just go about your life, and that would still make an impact. But if you stop looking at it and then you start imagining the solution, imagining the world that you'd like to live in, the one where everyone lives peacefully, in harmony, with abundance. Everyone's got their own home, not with a mortgage. Everyone has beautiful, fresh, healthy food and clean water. Everybody has community. Everybody has love. Everybody is following their creative passions. Then, we're going to see big changes. Huge. And that then we can shift our belief systems to the fact that we live in a beautiful, wonderful, creative, natural, unity consciousness world where we all work together and nobody's left out in the cold or in the dark. 1 week it would probably take to stop watching the news. And it's not being ignorant, it is being blissful, because we're going to start creating something. You know, it's so funny, I always point in the same direction for the good and the bad, or the future or the past. It's very interesting. I just thought I would drop that in. Okay, so I'll just summarize, if I can, that we create this world. The world we're in is looking pretty bad at the moment because the light is coming in and it's raising us all up in our ability to actually see more than we did before. So we are seeing things that don't look very good. Now is the pivotal point where you choose. Right now, if I was to ask you, do you choose war, poverty, fighting, power, control, greed, or do you choose love, unity, community, abundance for everyone, health, happiness, joy, harmony? Right now, can you please choose, just even in your mind? You know, just that alone, if everybody did that, whew, we're going to be seeing massive changes. So I'm just going to plant that seed. If you have any sort of insight or input, I would love for you to share, because I don't want to do this on my own. I want to live in a world where we bounce back and forth and we share ideas and we all have the same belief that everyone deserves to be happy and everyone deserves to live a beautiful life experience. Let's do it. Why not? Let's choose it. Okay, that is my little bit for today. I will come back whenever I come back, and I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. I hope that you're healthy, happy. My belief system is hoping and wishing that you're healthy, happy, and enjoying your greatest life experience. Okay, so ciao for now and much love.